I'll tell you a story about somebody somewhere really, really trying hard to twist things. Oh, yeah, the internet. Lawrence E. King Jr. and multiple offices of the Omaha, Nebraska Franklin Community Federal Union were indicted on embezzlement of funds in a Ponzi scheme and looted over $40 million, which was spent on opulent lifestyles, Republican fundraising. Uh-oh, that's going to get me in trouble, isn't it? And then rumors were started that children in Omaha, Nebraska foster care were flown to the U.S. East Coast and were abused by bad parties, a pedophile ring pandering children for the rich and powerful. This is something someone wanted me to look up that has actual legal records about it. So this isn't really something that's got any mystery to it, especially with all the people confessing. The alleged sex crime victim, a 21-year-old Alisha Owen, served 4.5 years in prison and a 4.5-year prison term for 8 counts of perjury. Some of this might have related to a vindictive ex-Boys Town employee. The other people involved all said it was a carefully crafted hoax to make money because that was the overt, obvious reason for it. Private detectives or political opportunists for their own purposes also took advantage of it. Whether or not they are worthy of attention or credible on their own merits, cases that can acquire credibility even if they lack any credibility inherently, simply because they're reported by various mainstream media outlets and credible voices who were trying to avoid getting tarred and feathered because they were politicians, so they just went along with the hate mob. The other 2 people besides the lady, Alisha Owen, knew the FBI agents were going to catch them because it was all a lie. They weren't like Gary Caradori, the PI. They were writing things down, and they were going to go back and double-check what we said. Gary, he'd write it down and leave it. I knew they were going to double-check. Half the people I named during the Caradori interview, I wouldn't have known if they were sitting next to me. Probably even made up names. I didn't want to go to jail when they caught me, because the FBI would actually, after you're talking to if you lie to an FBI agent, their policies, they will throw you in jail at that time. Because you've lied, you've submitted false data. So they will actually jail you. James Danny King tried to warn Caradori that the sexual abuse allegations King, Tony Bonner, and Miss Owen made in late 1989 were just one big scam. Now you got to listen to this part. Hey, Gary, you and Karen are real nice, but all this is a lie. It's just one big scam. Troy and Alisha are just trying to scam you. Gary Caradori ignored them, saying, I know you're scared. It's okay. It didn't matter what was presented. Didn't matter what evidence was presented that contradicted his assumptions. He was going to keep going. He never met Franklin top executives Lawrence E. King Jr., he said. Wadman retired. World Herald publisher Harold W. Anderson, or Omaha businessman Alan Bier, or Douglas County District Judge Theodore Carlson, all of whom were accused by him. 1991, June 5th, Omaha World Herald, Alisha Owen perjury trial. An actual trial with actual witnesses recanting and stating what happened will be resisted by everybody who's a truther type. I'm calling them truther types. There are actual people out there who are after the truth. But the word truther has been turned into this mess that we need to put quotations around it. No matter how vehemently the other 2 people said, we lied, it was a scam because they were suing for monetary damages, they got cold feet when the FBI showed up. Because, and I've explained this to people, when any accusation comes up that anyone has violated a kid, the FBI will investigate, and that's it. There's nothing you can do about it. The accusation itself causes a bunch of trouble, because then the FBI comes back and says, why did you lie to us? And if you don't just knuckle under, they're going to make an example of you, because they don't like having their resources taken up. Because it is the jurisdiction of the FBI to deal with these cases if they wish to. And in some cases, whether they like it or not. In fact, most. So if anybody accused Podesta of something like this, he showed up at his door. They showed up at his door. If he wasn't smart enough to just go to them first.